Hello everyone, welcome to Sunya IAS. I hope I am audible properly. Hanji, am I audible properly in the online? So today is going to be our first introductory session for Anthropology Foundation offline and online batch, and the batch is starting from today itself. But before we begin, I would like each one of you to take a moment and appreciate the fact that you have chosen the most fascinating, scoring, interesting and intellectually rewarding optional subject for your UPSC examination, that is anthropology. See why I am saying so? Because just try to understand the process. When you were deciding that you have to choose for one optional, so the basic thing or the question or the parameter which you were having in your mind is either the syllabus or the GS overlapping or the scoring aspect. See, anthropology is passing the test in all these three parameters. The syllabus is compact, yes. It is very interesting as well as scoring, and it is having overlapping with your GS subject, like with the paper 1, GS paper 1 Indian society, with the GS paper 2 social justice, and with the GS paper 3 some parts from the science and tech and some parts from economics. Fine. So yes, you can find out some sort of overlapping, but you need to understand those who are managing this optional and those who are getting 300 plus marks or who are getting 290 plus 280 plus, there is a difference in their thinking pattern. Means they are not choosing this optional just to manage one optional subject or 500 marks. They are choosing it so that they can have a better score, so that they can have the basic analysis of the human evolution, the human studies, everything about the human being. So on the very first day, one thing that I just wanted to tell you, try to create an approach which is based upon the curiosity and try to engage yourself with the subject. Don't try to manage it, but try to engage with it. When you will start engaging, you will start getting more and more interest, you will start getting more and more curiosity, and then you will be having a learning nature. And if you are having a learning nature, if you are living this subject, definitely you will be scoring more better than the other aspirants. Fine. So with this note, in today's class, today I am not going to teach you, not at all. In today's class, the class duration is going to be 1 hour or 1 hour 15 minutes or something, because this is introductory session only. In today's class, I am just going to provide you the introduction about the subject, because you had chosen it, already you know about the subject, but today I am going to provide you the sources, the approach and how we are going to deal with this subject, so that all the doubts, everything related to the subject, they are going to clear on the first day itself. Okay, if you are having certain doubt, I am going to provide you time also, so that you can decide about it. Fine. Okay, so now let's start. So today is basically the 15th June and our first session, and from tomorrow onward there is going to be a certain timetable, there is going to be a certain pattern. I will be providing the schedule also, like when we are going to cover what, and then accordingly from tomorrow itself we are going to start. Fine. Okay. So first let me provide you a basic composition of your anthropology. So you know very well that anthropology, it is the syllabus is being divided into two parts. One is the anthro paper 1, another one is the anthro paper 2. So the UPSC is asking 250 marks each, 250 for paper 1, 250 for paper 2. Now in terms of the syllabus, so out of these two papers we are having 5 parts. So the first part is the socio-culture anthropology, that is part of the paper 1. This is basically part of the paper 1. Then we are having the physical anthropology, again this is the part of the paper 1. Out of the total syllabus of anthropology, socio-culture anthropology is constituting around 33%. 33% when I am saying, it is about the total paper 1, paper 2, complete anthropology, not only about the paper 1. So you can understand, out of the total 5 parts, socioculture anthropology is the most important one. It is the most easiest one also, and this is something that is like, I will say, it is not so much scoring, but if you are having a certain approach, you can do excel in this part. Okay, but you cannot expect so much. Like, if let me tell you one more thing, that in the GS paper 1, 2, 3, 4, even if you are putting so much of effort, still you cannot create that much difference. The privilege being provided by the GS paper is not as much as being given by the optional ka paper. So that's the kind of difference you need to understand. In the same way, in the social culture part, even if you are putting so much of effort, you cannot create a difference. You can create a difference in the physical anthropology, in the Indian anthropology, in the tribal anthropology. So that's how this is easiest one also. We are going to start with the socioculture anthropology itself. Fine. Then there is physical anthropology. This is the biological anthropology, and this is the only part because of which many of the aspirants, they used to think that anthropology is having a biology nature, or anthropology means science. Anthropology means you have to study so much about the human evolution. You have to study about how from the monkeys to humans, how's this journey, everything like that. Okay. Now, next part is in terms of the Indian anthropology, the tribal India, and in terms of the archaeology, Indian archaeology. Fine. So the Indian archaeology, it is part of paper 1 also, but one single unit, and 3 units from the paper 2. Then in the paper 2, we are having Indian anthropology and tribal India. These are constituting equal 19%. So the Indian anthropology, the tribal India, the Indian archaeology, it is having complete overlapping with your GS paper. So I used to say the paper 2 is having the GS paper nature. I mean, it is completely based upon the observation. It is completely based upon the data collection. It is basically related to the applications. Fine. Okay. Now, this is basically the syllabus. One more thing. I'm going to provide this PPT, so no need to write. But if you really wanted to write, you can write. Okay. Fine. Now, let me first show you the syllabus. So here you can see anthropology paper 1 starting from the unit 1. So out of the complete total paper, there is 12 units in the paper 1. So these 12 units, they are being divided in parts, some for socioculture anthropology, some for physical anthropology. Here 12 parts what I am talking about is, the first one is the meaning scope development of anthropology. So the first 3 unit 1.1 to 1.3, these are part of the socioculture anthropology. Okay, so here we are going to study about the society, the culture, the marriage, family, these type of things. Although these seems to be very common, so we are just going to put upon some anthropological evidences here. Otherwise the things are very simple and very clear. Now, from the unit 1.4 till unit 1.7, this is basically part of your biological anthropology, and the myth that anthropology is science only. Here you have to study about the human being, human evolution, monkeys transformation, these and that. This is all because of these unit. The unit 1.5 and 1.6, these two unit I used to call them culprit unit. Why? Because of these two units only, people consider anthropology is difficult, but it is not. These two units may be one question or maybe two question, one of 15 mark, one of 10 mark. You can expect from this part, not more than that. And this part is also a very interesting journey, how we started standing at our 2 feet, how we started having the grasping power, why our thumb is having opposable like description. So these type of thing that we are going to understand. Okay, now in the unit 1.8, we are going to study about the archaeology. As I told you, there is one single unit from the paper 1 and all other unit from the paper 2. Now, from the unit 2.1 till unit 8, that is again socioculture anthropology. So what you can write down is, you can write down for socioculture anthropology unit 1.1 to 1.3, and then unit 2 to unit 8. These all are socioculture anthropology. Now try to understand the topics that have been asked here. First, the nature of culture. society, marriage, family, kinship, economic organization, political organization, religion, anthropological theories, language and communication. Here you need to understand we are not going to study so much of the theories part. We are going to here study the practical aspect. I am going to provide you the practical case studies, some related case studies that you will find out very interesting. Fine. Okay. Now next, unit 8 again part of the social culture anthropology. Then from unit 9 till unit 12, all these are part of what? All these are part of the physical anthropology. Here you can see unit 9.1 human genetics, Mendelian genetics, the genetic polymorphism, chromosomes. So this part is having overlapping with your GS paper science and tech, because here in the human genetics we are going to study about the DNA technology, recombinant DNA technology, the genetic engineering, genetically modified crops. Here we are going to study about the epidemiological anthropology, where we are going to study about the disease, infectious disease, non-infectious disease, communicable disease, non-communicable disease. That is basically part of your GS paper 3 science and technology, and also part of your prelims. Okay, here also human growth in the menarche, menopause. So all these parts they are having some overlapping with your GS paper science and tech as well as your prelims. Fine. So this is what you can understand. In the paper 1 there are 12 units, and out of the 12 units, unit 2 to unit 8 for the social culture anthropology, and unit 9 to unit 12, that is part of your physical anthropology. Hope you are able to understand it. Hanji, having any doubt related to the paper 1? Okay, now starting with the anthropology paper 2. So in the anthropology paper 2, the first 3 unit, they are part of your archaeology. As I told you, 5% Indian archaeology, and the 5% is spread through the paper 1 as well as the paper 2. Now, from the unit 2, see, Indian anthropology is very basic, very common, but you have to add on the extra thing if you want extra marks, and that extra thing is related to the case studies. This is something related to the basic pattern, like how the villages are transforming. So we are going to study the villages, and that's what we will be able to understand how they are transforming. Okay, so in this part, demographic profile of India, the structure and nature of traditional Indian social system, caste system, impact of different religion on the Indian societies, Indian villages. In this part, Indian villages, we are going to study the globalization, the land reform, the green revolution. So all these, they are part of your GS paper 3 economics also. Okay, now in this part, we are also going to study about the linguistic and religious minorities, some political aspect related to the constitution. Then we are going to start from the unit 6.1 to unit 9.3. The unit 6.1 to 9.3 is part of your tribal India. It is basically part of your tribal India. So when I am saying tribal India, so you need to understand for the tribes, we are not going to be very much specific. Like here, we are going to study about the tribe. Like the syllabus demands that you need to be aware of the common things about the tribes, like the developmental issues, developmental projects, mining project, infrastructural project we are introducing in their areas, and what kind of issues these tribal people are facing out of that. So this is what you need to share here. Fine. Another thing, like the impact of the different religion on the Indian societies, what are the other history of administration of the tribal areas, role of anthropology in tribal and rural development. Here we are going to study about the regionalism, the communalism, that is part of your GS paper 1 Indian society. Here we are going to study about the racial diversity. Here we are going to study about the differences. So that's again basically part of your GS paper. So that's what you have basically. I had shown you the syllabus, and the very first thing you need to do is, now this is a kind of homework I am providing you. You need to create 5 different A4 size paper, and you are not allowed to take printout. Not at all. Because if you are taking the printout, then you are missing out something. The reason being, you need to write with your hand when your mind is alert and you are writing each and every part. Okay, so what you need to do in the 4 A4 size paper, like you are going to divide the syllabus. So what you are going to do is you are going to divide the syllabus. So like this. Fine. So you are going to divide it in this format, and in this format you are going to write it down like here. First the socio-culture anthropology, and then you are going to write down the name of the unit. You have to write down till unit 8. Here you would be writing about the physical anthropology 1.4 to 1.7 and 9.1 to 12. This is how you need to write down the 5 pages for the 5 parts of the syllabus. And now what you are going to do is, here you are going to create the boxes. And then you need to, as soon as we are completing one unit, you just need to tick, so that you would be aware that that much syllabus is done. Why I am saying so? Because now so many of the queries I am receiving where students, they were attending the class, they were going to the class, they had completed the complete course of 4 to 5 months or to 6 months, they are done with the revision session also, but they are not aware of how much part they are done with, how much is left, what to do inside one unit. So there is so much of the chaos. So I don't want my students to be in the chaos. So on the very first day, you have to create these 5 pages. You need to share a picture through the WhatsApp to me. You are having the official number, so you need to connect through that, and there you are going to create these boxes. As soon as we are going to complete the unit, you are going to tick there. Fine. So this is what you need to do on the very first day. Okay. Fine. Now, starting with the next part, let me first, if you are having any doubt regarding the myths for your optional, so let me first burst your myth. So the first myth could be, it's a very scientific subject. See, I have told you that there are 3 units, basically 1.4 to 1.7, and out of these unit, only 2 units, 1.5, 1.6, they are the culprit unit, and because of these culprit unit, the syllabus is called as what? It's a very scientific subject. Now you had seen the syllabus yourself. Now you can easily distinguish, you are able to distinguish between the scientific aspect of the subject and the theoretical aspect of the subject and the practical aspect of the subject. Now you know very well that this subject, it is having 24% out of the total syllabus physical anthropology. Rest is divided into different parts like socio-culture, Indian anthro. So this is what you can understand. Now next, it is complicated, it is factual subject. So there is a myth that is very complicated. Now just tell me one thing. When I was here to show you the syllabus, you were able to find out some similarities with some topics like regionalism, like communalism, like the marriage, like the factors affecting the families, like joint family, nuclear family. There are factors affecting them. You are able to create association with the Indian villages, the green revolution. So there are some topics like communicable, non-communicable disease, like the blood group system. So this is what you can differentiate. So that's how you can understand about it. Now next, it does not overlap with the GS prelims and mains. I don't need to tell you something about it. You had seen the syllabus yourself and you are aware of the GS syllabus also. So you can easily find out the similarities or the overlapping with the GS syllabus. Next part, it is difficult to fetch marks. See, when you are not doing something, it's very difficult. I won't say to get marks in anthropology is easy, not at all. But it is not impossible, and if you are putting efforts, definitely you can get better marks. I mean, it is not something that is very tedhi kheer, wo nahi hai. Okay, so this is what you need to understand. Fine. Okay. Next. See, if you are having any myths, any doubt, you can ask. Hanji, having any doubt? You can ask. Okay. Now, I'm here to provide you a comparison. See, recent marks, they were not available, so I'm not able to find the way to show you. But here you can see the optional marks and the difference. So here you can see in the low, the highest marks is 204. Sorry, this is basically the interview marks. Here you can see in the PSIR, optional total 313, philosophy 319, anthropology 304. This is the Lagima Tiwari ma'am. Okay. Mathematics 310. Here you can see the Nidhi Pai 36, 325. So till now we basically noticed the marks that is above 300. So in anthropology one is 304 and 325. Then here Gagan Singh Meena mathematics option 312. So you can understand that mathematics is a very scoring subject, also difficult also, I will admit, but scoring also. I mean there is a scope to get marks because that's a technical subject. But you can see in anthropology they are getting more marks, 325. So although there is scaling, like there is a kind of scaling in the total marks, but this is what in terms of the potential you can understand that if you are in the right direction, if you are on the right path, so there is possibilities that you can get 300 plus. Okay, now let me tell you one more thing. See, you need to understand the approach. Last year there was rank 5, 6, like last year there was Deepak Korkuji. So this year he basically got the rank 563. So here you need to understand. Earlier he was stuck somewhere in anthropology around 200, like from the last two mains he was getting only 213, 215. And in the GS the marks they were more or less similar. He was not able to get the rank. Fine. So this last year when I basically helped him out, so I focused the application part where he was not able to get the enrichment, where he is not able to transform that into the answer. So with the 2.5 months of guidance, he was able to jump with the 45 marks. So you can easily understand that there is possibilities if your approach is right. So you can find out his marks also, previous marks also, these are available. Okay. Now from this part I had shown you that marks from the optional subject is very, like it is feasible. Now another possibility, highest marks in the anthropology till now is the 362 out of 500. So 362 actually it's a biggest milestone. And from this you can easily understand that to get marks in the anthropology is feasible. It is a kind of a scoring subject. If you are in a right direction you can get. Now let me tell you the story of Lakshmi ji. So basically she was having the sociology optional earlier, but she was not getting the more scope to do. So therefore what she did is in the year 2018, basically when she was filling the form for 2017, so she filled up the anthropology optional, and before prelims she was only able to complete the paper 1. She completed the paper 2 after clearing the prelims, and still she was able to manage these marks. Why? Because her approach was accurate, because her way of writing or expressing the content is phenomenal. So that's what you can understand, that getting the more marks is feasible and you can get it if you are in the right direction. Okay. Now here also I can show you why anthropology is being considered as a very favorite subject. You can find out the tendency. So here you can see in the 2023, you can get that the ranker 3, 4, 71 first, second first, third, sixth. So you can understand the top ranker, somewhere their optional subject is also helping them to score more. and anthropology is considered as the most favorite subject. And another thing, a very beautiful thing that you can what you are asking, Grace. So Grace is asking that, ma'am, can you please mention the units covered under every subtopic of anthropology again, just the coverage. Okay, sure, sure. Once I am done with this part, I will show again. Okay, don't worry. Fine. So here you can see easily that anthropology is being considered as a subject which is favorite. Another thing, very interesting thing, that there is no need to have background in this subject or to have the background in the other parts of anthropology. Like there is no such like mindset you need to prepare that because I am from the science background only I can take this. No, the people from the commerce background, like last year there were the person from the commerce background, he was having the economics optional, so he left that optional and he opted for the anthropology. So that's what you can understand. Last to last year there was one student, he was having the public administration pub ad, and one student having the sociology. So they left that optional because they were not able to do much. This year also I got some queries about the students having electrical engineering as the option, and they are lefting it out just to opt for the anthropology. The reason being because this is having a compact syllabus and there is no need to have background in the syllabus. Why? Because GS paper is having overlapping, so the anthro paper 2 is completely generic and the anthro paper 1 here you can manage. So that's how you can have a kind of strong confidence while choosing this optional. Okay, now again let me tell you the basic composition. Okay, let me provide you the basic composition. So here you can understand easily. So this is the paper 1 and this is the paper 2. In the paper 1 we are having two parts, socio-culture anthropology, that is around 33% of the total syllabus, and we are having physical anthropology. So this is having 24% of the total syllabus. In the paper 2 we are having Indian archaeology, and we are having Indian anthropology, and the tribal India. So Indian archaeology is around 5%, Indian anthropology is around 19%, and tribal India again 19% of the total syllabus. Now talking about the units which are coming under them. Socioculture anthropology, the unit 1.1 to 1.3 and the unit 2.1 to unit 8. For the physical anthropology, unit 1.4 to 1.7 and the unit 9.1 to unit 12. So total 12 units in the paper 1. Here in the Indian archaeology, unit 1.8 of the paper 1 and unit 1.1 to 1.3 of the paper 2. Indian anthropology starting from the unit 2 till the unit 5 and tribal India starting from the unit 6 till the unit 9. So here 9 units. I hope now you are able to understand, you are able to differentiate. You can take a screenshot of this and that's how you can create a table, and out of these 5 tables you have to write the complete syllabus of these 5 parts. Done? Have you done, Grace? You must have got the basic outlook of the paper 1 and paper 2 syllabus, right? Okay, now let's provide you the basic thing that now you are going to have the more focus. First, overlapping with the GS syllabus, like with the essay part. See, in some part, I am going to provide you some sort of the case studies. These case studies, you will get to know about the basic introduction of the society, and society is all about what? Poverty. Society is all about the women condition. Society is all about the vulnerable sections, and about the education, about the technology, everything like that. So one part of your essay, like in the section A, UPSC is sometimes used to ask some philosophical parts. So those philosophical parts, for those things, I am going to provide you material, part of your optional, but you can use them for your essays also. Like it is something as added advantage. Why? Because this subject is not technical. This is based upon the behavior. It is based upon the human behavioral aspect. So that's how you can understand it. Now, again overlapping with your GS paper 1 Indian society, GS paper 2 social justice, science and tech, and the GS paper 4 ethics. In the prelims part also you can understand ancient history, polity, biotechnology. These all are having overlapping with your anthro syllabus. Fine? Okay. Next, what are the advantages? Because you opted for this optional. The one thing is the syllabus is short. Next, it is very conceptual and static subject. Means UPSC is not going to ask something out of syllabus. See, one or two question, they are going to be bouncer question for sure, 10 marker. I am not saying that I can cover everything. On the very first day, I am not saying I would help you to understand the UPSC trend. I'm not going to say I will help you to predict the UPSC paper. I'm not going to say I will be helping you to cover 100%. Why? Because all these things, they do not exist. And you also need to understand UPSC is like an ocean. Even if you are studying for prelims, even if your GS mains or for your optional, you can not cover everything. Keep this thing in your mind. And if you are having this thing in your mind, that much you are going to do it. You are having the sense that this is not sufficient, and this point would ask you to do more and more. And that's how I know there is no end for the syllabus. There is no such end. Why? Because UPSC syllabus is like an ocean. So here I would help you to cover maximum. Fine? Okay. Now, it's a very diversified subject. Diversified means, like, let us suppose you are getting bored about studying the socio-culture. You can turn to the physical, completely different. So, we are going to study 5 complete different parts. And the syllabus is very short, very, very short. Like, within 2 months, once you are done with the syllabus, within 2 months you can revise. 1 month, one paper, another paper, only 2 hours each day. So, this is the syllabus. And I am not fascinating the thing. I am telling you this is the right way. Okay. Now, the questions asked in the UPSC, they are direct, so it can be easily anticipated. So you can easily anticipate. Now UPSC, they had changed their approach of asking the question. Like if you will see the paper of 2024 and the 2025, so then you can see that UPSC is asking the question which are based upon the analysis, based upon the indirect understanding of the syllabus. So yes, we can admit the same, but again the syllabus is something which is going to be in the core, and UPSC is going to ask question related to that only. Okay, fine. Next, answer writing pattern is very creative, and answers, they are to the point. You need to write down in the bullet format. You need to write down in proper tabular format. There is a scope to add on the diagram. See, with the passage of the time, with the help of the classes, I'm going to provide you so much of the diagrams, and diagrams, they are something that would help you to get more and more score. Fine. So you can easily integrate the diagrams, you can easily integrate the flow chart. So this is something, the kind of advantages related to the anthropology. Okay, now anthropology, if you have to understand in this part, we are going to study about Four basic aspects. The cultural anthropology means what people make, what people think, what people do in terms of the culture, because culture is the first unit related to the human being, as they are being part of the society. So as human being they are part of the society, so you can understand that culture is the one which is helping them to integrate. Like for example, we are meeting with each other because we are having a festival, we are meeting with each other because our point is common, we all want to achieve the peace. So all these things they are related to what? Culture. Now next part, human anatomy. Human anatomy means what? How the human they evolved, and once they evolved, why you are finding out differences. Now let us suppose if I am showing you or if I am asking you, just tell me what are the basic like description of the African people. Hanji, tell me what is the description of the African people, how they used to look like. Tell me how the American used to look like. Tell me the difference between the Japanese and the Indian person. So there is a difference in their description. You would say African people, they are having tufted hair, or they are having a dark complexion, they are having a very broader nose, whereas comparatively you will say the American people, they are fairer, having a fairer skin, they are having a brownish hair, they are kind of Irish color that may be light, not completely black. So these type of things they are in terms of variation. So biologically we all evolved from a common point, but later on our gene they started getting variations, and that's how we find out human variation. That's how we find out regional variations. So in one region people they are look alike, in one region the people are look different. So that's what you can understand. Next is the archaeology. In the archaeology part we are going to study about the material culture and the stuff we leave behind. Here we are going to understand the past behavior and the people in the past, how they used to live. So this is what we are going to understand. Now another part in the linguistic anthropology, we are going to study about the language, the origin and the variation. So this is what we are going to understand about the linguistic anthropology, and I hope you can understand that in this part we are going to understand about the socioculture anthropology, the biological anthropology, linguistic anthropology and archaeology. Okay, now the very common question, and you all must be having that in your mind. The thing is that how to cover the syllabus, and other than the syllabus, what are the sources to cover up the same? See, I'm going to provide you the basic sources. These basic sources, they are not something that you have to choose, because this is what I just wanted to show you, how I am, like what is the source for my teaching. So here I am not asking you that you have to study these sources, not at all. I am just providing you the first instance just to show you and just to build upon your confidence in my teaching that my source is these books. Okay, now first, paper 1, socioculture anthropology. The first source that we are having is the EPG Pathshala. So this is something that is being provided by the government. Online it is available. So if you will type the topic, you will get some details about it. So this is something authentic, this is something reliable, and this is something which is given in a very widened scope also. So this is one of the primary source to cover up the socio-culture anthropology, e-Pathshala. Okay, so this is something provided by, like you can also compare with the IGNOU material. So that is equivalent good for anthropology. Now next part is these standard books. So we are not having any standard books NCERT for anthropology, although Kerala government and their anthropology book they are here. So these books they are also having very small coverage about the syllabus. So they are covering some part of the socio-culture anthropology, few of the physical anthropology units, and some of the archaeological, like they are leaving the archaeological part, some other Indian anthropology and tribal India aspect. Fine. Okay. Now next, one of the very important book that every single person who's taking anthropology, they must be aware of this book, Anthropology Ember and Ember. Now, if someone asking you or suggesting you this book Ember and Ember, they are मतलब अगर आपको कोई ये सजेस्ट कर रहा है तो वो अपनी दुश्मनी निकाल रहा है. See, I'm not saying this source is not good, not at all. I have read it completely. The source is very good, but the source is not for answer writing. The source is not aligned with your anthropology syllabus, and if you will read this much, you will get this much only. Means in this book, you will get more and more detail about culture, more and more detail about some anthropological theories, but one aspect only. But you won't get here complete material to cover up the socio-culture anthropology. Means you need, like, even if you are studying this complete book, still you are not able to cover up 33% of your syllabus. So that's why I am saying कि अगर कोई आपको ये suggest कर रहा है तो अपनी दुश्मनी निकाल रहा है, because this book is not for students. Even if someone would say that I have to study about it, okay, they are asking I have bought the Sunya Anthropology. Attend this session, you will get the answer yourself. I'm not going to, and even if the class you wanted to discuss with me, there is number available in the description box. So just call there, okay? Fine. Now, so for this, for students, I'm going to say do not buy this book, do not read this book. Because for you as a student, time is money. As we used to be very much thoughtful while spending the money in UPSC preparation, you need to be equally, even more thoughtful for spending your time. That's why do not buy any random book, do not buy any random course. First try to analyze based upon the time, then the alignment of the time with your other GS preparation, and then decide. Fine. Okay, so for me, this is the source to provide you examples. I am going to quote example while I am teaching, and I will mention in the class itself that I have taken this example from Ember and Ember, so that you will get the basic confidence. But I am not going to suggest you do not buy this book. Even if some used to suggest, if you want a basic understanding, then read this. You do not have time to get basic understanding. You just want to understand the concept and want to replicate in terms of answer. आपको यहाँ in the UPSC preparation सदियाँ नहीं बितानी है, और आपको यहाँ PhD नहीं करनी है anthropology में. This is only in terms of a kind of optional for you. So you need to read that much which is required, not more than that. Okay? Yeah. Next thing. An Introduction to the Social Anthropology, D.N. Mazumdar, T.N. Madan. Again, this book is also providing you perspective. So about the social anthropology, this will also provide you some perspective about the Indian anthropology. So I had basically quoted this book, and when I'm going to teach you about the social anthropological aspect, so I'm going to mention here. Okay, so I'm going to mention here the things which I'm going to add upon. Okay, fine. Next is introducing sociology. This is something which is basic. Other than this, here you can use the Kerala textbook for anthropology. So that will also sound good to provide basic introduction. But if you are basically attending the classes, so no need to read these books at all. Why? Because now further I'm going to provide you the basic details. Fine? Okay. Other than this, there is History of Anthropological Thoughts and Introduction to the Anthropological Thought by Makhan Jha and V.S. Upadhyay and Gaya Pandey. So these two books, they are to cover one unit, and that is the unit 6. And this unit 6 is part of what? Socio-culture anthropology. So that's what you need to understand, that an Introduction to Anthropological Thought and History of Anthropological Thought, these two parts, they are part of your like paper 1 socio culture. So to cover up the socio culture anthropology, I am referring one this IGNU e-Pathshala, these 3 books and these 2 books. But you don't need to buy, you don't need to read these books. Even if someone who is doing the self study, kindly do not buy these books. These are not in terms of the textbook. And even if you are thinking about achieving the understanding, understanding is also requiring so much of time. I mean, you will just getting the understanding, you are not able to write answer, you are not able to complete syllabus, you are just getting understanding. So that's how judiciously spend your time, because in UPSC preparation again time is money. Okay, fine. Next, for physical anthropology constituting around 24%, maximum of the person, they must be aware of this book, Physical Anthropology Peanut. Every single person, even if you will go to any bookshop and you will ask that what to study for anthropology, they will give you this book, Peanut. This book is again very nice, very good, giving you basic understandings about the few of the topics of the physical anthropology. And like but still, because if you are taking this foundation course, you don't even need to buy any book, nothing. In this course itself we are going to provide you the books. More than the books, the classes are more than sufficient. Okay, now in this physical anthropology we are getting the basic understanding, like how the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium is working, how the human evolution, how the human variations, how the things are going. Now next part is the human genetics. Remember the unit 9.1 human genetics. So one single unit 9.1, and for that you have to study this book. Here you are going to study about the Mendelian genetics. Here you are going to study about the gene polymorphism. So human genetics, the DNA technology, the recombinant DNA technology, this is the part. Now next is the physical anthropology, and this physical anthropology, it is basically given by the Philip Elstein. So this is also a very good source, but this is a good source for a teacher, not for a student, because student cannot spend their precious time to just reading the book. What you need to do, you just need to study it, you don't need to read it. Okay, fine. Next is Indian archaeology. For Indian archaeology, 2 book. This is the best source, Indian prehistory, the D.K. Bhattacharya. So there are the basic insights you can get about the Indian archaeology. Then there is prehistoric archaeology, again by the D.K. Bhattacharya. So these are the additions, and that's what you can use for the Indian archaeology. Again for Indian archaeology, like you don't need to buy this book, but I'm referring you that this is my source to teach you. Okay, now next is the Indian anthropology as well as the tribal India. So Nadeem Hasnain for tribal India and for Indian anthropology, every single person, they would be aware of this name. So I don't think I need to tell. Again there is LP Vidyarthi, the tribal culture of India, and there is Man in India, one journal was there. So given by the various Indian anthropologists, means later on they like is being provided by the SC Dubey. Later on, so many of the other, they added upon their articles. And another is Indigenous and Tribal People and Cancer. This is again a very good book that we need to refer. So from this point of view, you have understood that for this subject you have to study about 15 to 20 books. So is it seems to be practical, and still I was saying that this is having a very short syllabus. See, you don't need to read any book. You don't need to refer any source. See, I'm going to provide you the documentary videos, I'm going to provide you the case studies, I'm going to provide you the current affairs. And all these things you are going to have as a part of your foundation syllabus, because in the foundation, I used to help the student from basics to advance. As a part of basic, I will help you out for the understanding for the syllabus coverage. For the advance, I am going to provide you the current affair integration. I am going to provide you the live answer writing. So these what I am going to help you in terms of advance. So over a period of time, I am going to refer these current affairs and I'm going to add upon the values per unit basis. So that's basically a scientific way during the classes we used to have the same. Fine. So for current affair, these are my sources. Because I am in touch with all these sources on daily basis, I will be providing you the same. Fine. Now, as I was saying that the syllabus is very short, these and that. See, I have read multiple sources, and I had compiled for you within the 2 books. So within the course, you don't need to buy it separately. Within the course itself, you will get the paper 1 as well as the paper 2 notes along with the 8 years old PYQ book. So you will get the PYQ with the model answer. So these 3 books you will get within the foundation batch itself. So these 3 books, they would be posted at your address. So you just need to fill up the address form that must be here in your portal. If need any assistance, then just call after the class. I will ask the team to help you out for the same. Okay, fine. So that is going to be basically comprehensive, concise, as well as in terms of value addition. Now, how would you admit the same? Let me show you the basic part. Now, the thing that I used to ask the students on the very first day, aware of the unit, aware of the syllabus, aware of what you are doing. First thing, this is the syllabus given by the UPSC, and that's how I had updated the books. And these are the books updated by me. This is the material provided by me after exploring of so many of the sources and to provide you a one-stop solution. So what you can understand here, this is the syllabus given by the UPSC. Culture, this is the unit 7 of paper 1, part of what? Social culture anthropology. Here you can see culture, language, communication, nature, origin, characteristics of the language, verbal and non-verbal communication, society, social context of the language use. So I divided it into 3 parts. Complete syllabus. Part 1, culture, language, communication, nature, origin, characteristics. Part 2, verbal and non-verbal communication. Part 3, the social context of the language use. Now, for each and every part, I had divided it in this format. First, introduction, then meaning, then definition, then key feature of language, then case studies separately being provided to you, and then other parts. So this is what you will get, like in terms of value addition, why it is unique to the human being, in a bullet format, in the point format, by highlighting the important keyword that you have to write down. So this is how I updated the book. Hope you can understand. Now, there may be one question in your mind that, ma'am, if you have explored so many sources and you compiled them in terms of a 2-book, paper 1, paper 2, then why we need this course? So you need to understand, this is only the theory part. Here you can manage the average marks, but if you have to achieve more than average, if you have to understand how to relate the concepts, how to understand the UPSC questions, how to deal with the syllabus, so for that you should basically join for the anthropology optional batch, this foundation batch. And this batch, starting from today itself, from tomorrow we are going to have the classes. So this batch is help you out to cover up the syllabus within the 4.5 months, which includes the current affair integrations also, value additions also. In the class I am going to provide you the diagrams, and in the class I will ask you where to use it, where not to use it. In the class itself I am going to provide you the personalized mentorship as well as the live answer writing. So I will teach you how to write answer, and in the class itself, after teaching you, I am going to provide you the practice set also. So that's all part of your foundation batch. Okay, now this is what, like in the class itself I used to teach with the help of the PPTs. In the PPTs, this is what I will be providing in terms of practical aspect. Like for example, here this is the case study being mentioned, Helen Keller, and this is related to the language, like she was not able to see, she was not able to listen, she was not able to speak. Now try to understand, there may be some person who's not able to hear, but they can see. So they can see the lip sync of your lips, and with the help of that they are able to make the sentences. But think upon someone who's not able to see but they can able to listen, so they can also learn the speaking and the speaking art. But think upon a person who's not able to see, who's not able to listen, who's not able to speak, what is going to be the condition of that person? For that person, they can only touch and feel, they can listen something, they cannot understand the presence of someone because they can't see, they can't listen. So Helen Keller was the one, and she was basically being taught. She was a very good writer, she wrote so many of the books, and that's what happened only because of her teacher. And that's how I am going to provide you, like I'm going to show you the documentary video also, so that you would be able to understand the concept with the realizations, with the actual realizations. Okay, that's how I'm going to teach you. This is basically the practical aspect I'm going to teach you. Like for example, that's how I'm going to provide you the case studies. I'm not going to burden your mind with so much of information. I will be giving you the practical applications, practical examples, will attach with the videos, will attach with the pictures, will be creating the pictorial memory in your brain. So there you can understand that I'm here another related to this unit 7 only, language. So going to talk about the Kanzi Amel Bonobo. So he was able to recognize the words, sentences, he was able to do so many things. So he learned the language. Like we are saying now, language is a human related thing. So here he basically learned the language, he basically learned the art of doing the things. Fine. Now another, like let us suppose if I am giving you example of a culture, in the culture I am giving you example of the symbol, how symbols are working. So I'm going to show you the practical application. Like this is what you can see in the western countries, the symbol for greeting is different. In India, symbol for greeting is different. Hope you can understand. So that's how I am going to attach with the pictures. I'm not going to simply tell you something, I will be help you to feel the something or relate with your atmosphere. Like for example, here officially if you are meeting, personally if you are meeting, this is the way of greeting. Officially as a nation you are meeting, we used to shake hands. Fine. Now, what are the basic pattern of thinking? Like for example, in India, people are not thinking much about the privacy of the other. Here you can see that people who are traveling in the buses, in the railways, they feel that they are having the privilege or the right to annoy others or to create sound or to disturb others. But this pattern of thinking is not found in case of the culture of South Korea and Japan. Here one mother, she was basically having the child, and they were traveling through the aeroplane for the very first time. In the aeroplane the child may cry, so before starting the flight, the mother, what she did, she basically created pouches. They were having some kind of non-disturbing cotton, or they were some sort of like they were providing this kit, and there was one note where they were providing the earplugs, and there were note where it is being written that I am a 4-month-old child, I am traveling for the very first time, I may cry, I can't help for the same, but if you will feel disturbed, kindly use the earplug, and I am so sorry, this is my first time. So this is what you can understand, that they are grateful to the people and they are not considering this as their right to disturb the others. Fine. Now for example, if I am telling you about the culture of eating, so this is what you can understand. This is the with this pattern itself you can understand this is the South Indian platter, and there is a proper mechanism like what to eat first, how to start, how to close it, how to end it. So everything is here. Like for example, in Indian culture, the way of eating is different. In foreign culture, it is different. In Indian culture, we used to use the 5 element of our hand, that is the fire, air, heaven, earth, water. Whereas here, American culture, they are not having those heaven. They are just eating with the fork and knife. So these are the cultural differences you can easily understand. Like I know it seems to be very funny, but yes, uh, in India, we used to prefer this. In the Western countries, they used to prefer this. The people who's from India, when they will went to the Western countries, and if they cannot find out the water supply in the washroom, so it's going to be very shocking for them. So there are some cultural shock also when we are changing the areas. Fine. Okay. Now I'm also going to provide you the basic case studies also. Like this case study I had taken from the Shark Tank. So the traditional occupation knowledge. This is what, remember this, I am going to add upon for the unit 2.5 kinship. So that's what you will understand, how in the class integrating the syllabus with the current affair, adding upon the example so that you can get more marks. Because as I have told you, anthropology is a living subject. And when I am saying it is living subject, it means it contains something that is having a connection with your everyday life. And UPSC examiner, they are also, they are someone who want you to write static only. See, they are done with the static part. Now they want you to add upon some masala. And how you can add upon? When you are adding values through this. Not only this, I am, like for example, news clips also I am going to add upon. Fine. Other than this, during the class itself, I am going to provide you the diagrams. These diagrams, these flow charts, they will help you to add upon the values. These flow charts, they are self-explanatory. Self-explanatory means what? They are going to be add values and you don't need to explain them. With this pattern itself, with these arrows itself, like when I will teach you this topic, you will get more association. This is what you need to do. And in the class itself, I will be providing you. Okay. Now, these are the kind of diagram I will provide you. Now, the question arises how you need to study. How you are going to combine all these things. Okay. So, how the pattern will go on? We are going to start with the socio-culture anthropology from tomorrow. Okay, so from tomorrow 16th of June, we are starting with the unit 1.1. Okay, unit 1.1 socio-culture anthropology will start with the same. Fine. So once we had started with the same, in the class itself, I will be using some PPTs. And like on the PPTs, you will get some material. It is not overloaded with material, but some material. We'll be using some diagrams. We'll be showing some news clips. Fine. This is what PPT will include. I will use some examples and I will be using some case studies. Okay. So all these things, part of the PPTs, I will provide you this PPT. There is going to be a separate Google Drive link. The team will upload the annotated PDF there. You will get the Google Drive link and you will get the all PPTs there. Fine. So this is the first thing. Now, the PPTs, they are just to explain you, just to make you understand the concept. Along with the concept, I will dictate notes. So during the class, like now, you need to have separate notebook. From tomorrow itself, you will bring separate notebook. You will bring colorful pens. That should be the black, blue, red, green. Color coding is going to be here. It is important one. Kindly do not think that we are doing chote bacche wala kaam. Nahi. The color coding is very important to have that pictorial memory. See, you are able to remember the things जो आपने 4th 5th class में करी थी. कुछ चीजें ऐसी होती हैं that they are here in your mind. So you need to keep the thing in your mind that this is very important because color coding will help you to have a long memory. So I will be dictating notes. You have to write down. I will dictate. No need to have the running notes. In my class, no need to have the running note. I will be dictating each and every part in the class itself. Okay, each and every example, everything. Okay, these dictated notes, they are going to be your one-stop solution. Now, other than these dictated notes, you will get the paper 1 and paper 2 book. Okay, now how to use the same? Starting with the unit 1.1, I will explain the same. I will provide PPT. I will dictate the notes. Once you are done with the class, in the evening, you will read the dictated notes. And then you will, after reading the dictated notes, you will read the same part from the book once only. If you find something extra in the book, you are going to add upon here in the dictated notes. Otherwise, there is not going to be something extra. I will cover everything. But still, if there is something, why you need to read the books? Only to form the language. Only to form the language for the answers. So this is what you have to do. Okay, so this is going to be part of this, and you are done. After we are done with one unit, I will explain you how to do the answer writing, and then we are going to have answer writing live. And for this live answer writing, I am going to provide you the feedback. For this batch, I am the one who used to provide the feedback. So this is what going to be the basic pattern. So I hope you are able to understand how we'll be doing. Now let me show you the sample. So these are the class notes. These are the class notes prepared by my students. Here you can see the color coding. Here we had written the syllabus name, headings. This is what I have provided them, the syllabus, the meaning, the kind of diagrams you can see here, the diagrams you can see here. These are the kind of notes being provided by, like I used to dictate, and that's how you also need to write it down. Here you can see the quality. Fine. And once we are done with one unit, I am going to provide you the answer writing mechanism also. Like this is the clips I am taking from the previous classes. So this is what you can understand. That's how I am going to teach you how to write the answers, what structure you should prepare, everything. And more than this, there is personalized mentorship. So I am going to help you out for optional. No need to do any extra classes, no need to do any extra thing. I am going to hold your hand till you are clearing your mains. So this is the kind of assurance I'm providing from my side. So that's how we are going to basically cover up the syllabus. Fine. So if you are having any certain doubt or something, you can ask. Hanji, having any certain doubt? So those who are enrolled with will be sharing the link with you and all the details after the class. If you have having any doubt, you can just text me after the class. There is one Google form available in the description box. If you are having any certain doubt, you can form that. You can fill that form, and the team is going to connect with you. If you want to have a piece of conversation with me, there is a number available in the description box. I would be available today, so you can call there. If you want to come to meet offline, you can come offline also, because this batch is offline and online. Even this batch is going to be in the hybrid mode. If you are opting for offline, you can also attend online. You will get recording also. If you are opting it online, you can also attend offline. So there is no such bar. This is hybrid in nature. Okay, so daily class timings would be intimated to you. Okay, so it would be intimated to you personally. Hanji, any another doubt related to the syllabus coverage, copy maintain? See, tomorrow there is going to be the first class, and tomorrow you need to bring the register, like the notebook and the colored pen. And then we are going to start with the unit 1.1. Okay? Yeah. Anything else? Any doubt? Okay, so then see you all tomorrow for the first session, and the next session is also going to be open session, so that's going to be here, so you can understand. And then if you feel the need, then and you wanted to enroll for this course, so you can connect with the team, and there is number available in the description box. Okay, so thank you so much for today. बाकी मिलते हैं कल.